Outside on the corner where I caught the bus, thinking in my head it's colder than I thought it was. Sometimes life is like that, and you just quiver your lips, whisper a wish, hoping someone might give us deliverance. Now deliver this message, think I could live with this message. You could just give a few seconds to come and sit in my presence. And yes, it is so precious, yes, it is a blessing. Next, I'll attempt to express it with every heavy breath, cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does. It's on my planets too, start sending back the love. Snowflakes fell like a gift.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is me, Dukect Live, here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect, on this Friday evening, the first Friday of September 2014. How are you all guys doing this Friday evening? Thank you so much for joining me live on TalkShoe.com. If not live, hear me on YouTube, Screw Attack, Rise of the Critics, Zipcast, That Guy with Glasses, and other places, because my Blip account is officially gone. Yep, all the Blip videos are gone. But no worries, ladies and gentlemen. All the Blip videos are on my Daily Motion account, and in my videos on what have you. All my videos will be posted on Daily Motion or Zipcast or Rise of the Critics. So don't worry. Everything is all right. Everything is fine. So don't worry. Anyway. Let's see. What's gonna talk? What's the big things happening right now? Big things popping, little things stopping. Let's talk about, well, holy crap, man. What's going on? Everything looks just really, really bad. For the past couple weeks, it's been really bad. I honestly can't watch Monday Night Raw sometimes. It's to a point that it's a chore. I mean, it is a chore to watch a wrestling show, and I don't want to be, a chore of watching a wrestling show. I never want to have something I watch as a chore. It doesn't make sense to me or anything else. I don't like it. I never like that, because at the end of the day, you have people who are just it's boring. It's it becomes so much as a troll. It's to a point that it's just sad. It's in fact, here's the thing that was crazy about it. The show, Monday Night Raw, starts off with Y2J, Chris Jericho. And I'm like, hey, it's not bad. Then you had JBL talk and say he's born the crowd. And I was like, dude, shut the hell up. I am sick to death about this. I mean, this isn't TNA when they had this. I mean, seriously. I mean, when TNA used to, and they still do this sometimes, talk. They have these conversations while while they have the show going on. They have these kind of, while they have a promo, they have these conversations and talking. They talk just so long. They talk and talk and talk and talk, and just derail the promo and destroy the ambience, the aura of the promo. And when you have that happen to have that, it just destroys the flow of the show. And this is the first five. That's like the first couple minutes of the show, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The first 5 minutes of the show. First 5 minutes. First 5 minutes of a show, and get this crap. First 5 minutes, and then on top of that, you had the entire authority come out. You have the authority. I'm like, another thing I was happy. There's not gonna be any authority. Triple H coming out with a 20-minute promo, and then I heard the music. I'm like, God damn it, why? It's the same stuff over and over and over again. Seriously, it gets to a point that it just drives me to a point that I don't even want to watch. I don't even want to watch the stuff. It makes me go crazy sometimes watching this crap. No, really, it drives me insane. Um, it drives me crazy to you know to watch the show, to watch to watch the show when you have this. I'm like, why? Why are you why do why in the world um have a show that continues to have the same monotonous promo. Oh, I mean, to a point, I feel like I'm watching a rerun. Heck, I know the production values of Raw hasn't changed much since what 2000 and just since 2010. The show looks just like the same. I'm quite honestly, it looks just the same, and to a point that I can't even just. I'm like, oh, this just. It's like, man, I can't even watch the show sometimes. Just the same old little production values. And to the point, I just stopped watching after the opening promo. You have um, they talk crap about Chris Jericho, Authority coming. Then you have John Cena walk down saying, "Oh, we don't want to have you fight for the main event against Brock Lesnar because he annihilated you," and they had to do that plug on the WWE Network for $9.99. Oh, sweet Christmas! Stop. By the way, I haven't heard any news from that. By the way, any new news about new subscribers or anything? And it's funny because after this huge push of $9.99 and all that great stuff, I haven't heard anything good about it. Anything. I mean, I looked for WWE news. I was like saying, I mean, the first part of the show, I was going to look at to see the WWE Network numbers, and I haven't seen anything new from that. I haven't seen anything new from WWE Network numbers. Nothing. I don't know. Um, I don't get this whole when is it gonna come? When is it? I haven't any news from it. Heck, the latest news, the big news, is like from Bleacher Report on last month, August 12th. Nothing. There has been no news of the WWE Network, and it's on the subscribers. It's just puzzling to me. I can't find it. I want to find it. I want to do anything, but the bio exactly. Of course, um, there's some other things happening. You got on the network and all that good stuff. I mean, there's stuff. I mean, I'm watching on Nitro. It's nice. I think Nitro really aged well. I mean, I love the production values of that. It just makes me miss. It just makes me miss. You know, watching Nitro really just makes me sad because I just from 1996, 90, like, 90, I mean, seriously, the show was just so it was goofy, but I felt like it was a very presentable, this is just my personal opinion. I thought it was just very professionally done. It was a very professional type show, and that to me really came across with the way Tony Schiavone, you had Eric Bishop. I just feel like it was more of a sports cast, something like that, a sports cast instead of just what I just felt like it was different. It felt really professional the way that it looked, the way it was shot. I'm like, wow, this felt really good, and all the different type of athletes that were just so it was different for the WWE. I never saw cruiserweights I never seen before, and I am just still. I know, people like, but yeah, I mean, people get a little tired of that stuff. I'm a little sick of it. But when back in the day, '96 and '97, I first saw guys like Dean Malenko, Psychosis, Rey Mysterio Jr. Before his knee surgeries and before he had to had his robotic knees and such. Um, Juventud Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero. I mean, Juventud Guerrero. Yeah, the Juice. Dude, yeah, seriously, they were just great talents. Just, I know I'm missing other people, in the luchador stuff, guys like that. I really love the action. I mean, Billy Kidman. You had, that sort of thing. Really good stuff. Those type of athletes. So you had the NWO and, you know, again, young Chris, a very young and very, pre Y2J Chris Jericho. It was fun. And then you had Goldberg coming in and killing people. Then you had the Crow Stick. It was very interesting and fun time, WCW Nitro. And didn't know what to expect, you know, and just it felt really, I don't know, it just felt really good. It's just some type of professionalism. I know it's wrestling, it's fake, all that stuff, but it felt when I watched WCW 96, 97, and 98, in my eyes, WCW put the pro and professional wrestling. It felt if it was professional, it put the professional in professional wrestling. It just felt like everything the show did was well professional. Even just like yeah, this is something I could watch. Me and my family could watch. Something that it's not over up and down like the Attitude Era where it was. I mean, mm, and even today, it still holds up for the most part. Compare this to Monday Night Raw, you have just the 9.99, the overlong back. I mean, just overlong, just like recaps and recaps and more recaps of just of like things that happened earlier in the show that they have to keep recapping every 5 seconds, every 30 minutes. They gotta recap it. I know there's like new people watching, but geez Louise. Um, Yeah, it just really bothers me. But that's just me. And that is just my thing. It's really just, it just bothers me. And another thing that's bothering me, this whole Bella feud. And this whole Brie Bella feud, and it has exposed them for both being the most horrific actors I have ever had to fucking listen to. The whole debate and everything. This was a nightmare. Um, you know, and even the fun thing. Here's the fun thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the true fun part of this is that, you know, WWE seen this and really wanted to do something like, oh, let's continue this feud. You know what they're going to do? You know what they're doing? They're inviting Jerry Springer to be on Monday Night Raw. Yep, Jerry Springer was going to go on Monday Night Raw. Of course, they got Dr. Shelby. That would have made sense, a connection with Daniel Bryan. But no, we have Jerry Springer. Yes, the entire trashy show that people watch, seeing how the guests completely act like a fool, what have you. Yeah, Jerry Springer, the cultural wasteland that is. Yeah, company, man. And this supposedly, I love this because on the day of the show, a couple of weeks ago, well, no, a couple of days ago, before Michael Sam went to the Cowboys, He was actually personally invited to Monday Night Raw by Stephanie McMahon, saying he was so classy and everything else. A classy organization, yeah, classy. Yeah, when you pull stuff like this, when you pull like having people watching you see throw up, people like Vicky Rowe throwing up throwing up or at Stephanie McMahon. That's hilarious. It just you know how bad this is. Vince Russo actually wrote an open letter telling this stuff, and God help me, I agreed with him. Oh, how screwed up are we in the wrestling world, people? When Vince Russo is the voice of reason, when Vince Russo is the voice of reason, you know they've lost the plot. You know the WWE has gone full retard, and you never go full retard. Oh goodness, yeah, I went there, but you know, uh, anyway, uh, what else to talk about? What else um to talk about Monday Night Raw? Well, the main event. I tuned in out now. I didn't see Slater versus the Bunny. I saw it on YouTube. It's nice, but it just shows you how the WWE faces its heels. You make the heels seem sympathetic. Tyler, they were. I mean, you look at this. Slater was cheering on Titus O'Neil, who was, he broke up with Darren Young, and since then he has flopped. He has been flying around doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe Slater Gator could do something for him, but I would not be surprised. I mean, heck, you know how low on the totem pole Slater Gator is? They lost to the New Nation when it was the New Nation, Kofi and Biggie and yeah, that tag team. Oh yeah, and they lost at the main event, and then next the New Nation just disappeared after that. Oh wait, they had an appearance on Monday Night Raw wearing suits. Yeah, that was. Oh, leave the memories alone, people. That's just yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Slater gets attacked by the bunny, and after she pushes him, and the bunny goes and assault him, and the crowd was in a mixture because people love Slater. They love Slater, and somehow they had the bunny attack him. They're supposed to use the face, and then they took it was a distraction, and then Adam Rose comes in, takes advantage of it, and picks up the victory. And Titus O'Neil has a look of just the shame and just disgust, like why am I even here? The look of just complete like resignation, like what, like what am I doing with my life? That look, that look. You're just like, what am I doing with my life? That's what I mean. Anyway, the main event was a six-man tag with Kane. Oh no, is it Corporate Kane, Demon Kane? I don't know. Ugh, I don't care about Kane anymore. Nothing. Seth Rollins and Randy Orton taking on Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, and John Cena. And Cena wants to actually prove himself that he is ready for Brock Lesnar. Even though he was already ready, supposedly, before he faced Brock Lesnar and got his ass completely kicked. And there's some scuttlebutt going around that Cena's actually hurt. Yes, the WWE is still going to actually push a guy who is having like some back and neck problems. Fantastic WWE. That's just what? I'm not even gonna be surprised. We get he's you know what? I'm not gonna be surprised if Cena gets so bad that he's gonna have to be like Edge, gonna be forced to retire. But anyway, Cena beats them all up. Cena takes down most of the stuff, and Roman Reigns takes the pinfall, and he's yelling at Triple H, who was there ringside, saying that he's ready and everything else. that he grants him his rematch, and that was the end. I didn't even care for this Raw. I'd stopped watching afterwards. After I peeked in and out. It's just frustrating to me that when you have a show that people want to see good, people want to do well and everything like that, and it completely and utterly fails. And there's so many easy corrections they could do. They have a commentary team that is, you know, consistent and good. I mean, JBL for the most part can be good. Uh, I would think honestly put JBL and Cole, or just dump them entirely, get the guys at NXT, and maybe just maybe get Vince McMahon out of their ear, and then move on. Jesus Christ, Vince, just shut the hell up and tell his bad jokes, stupid jokes, stupid things all the time, man. And maybe doing that, put the show back in 2 hours. I know it might hurt some ad revenue, but it'd be actually better for you, Vinny. Oh, Vinny Mac. Maybe if you had a good show, people will actually watch it. Maybe, up the professionalism, maybe make the show look a little more classy and actually more of a professional looking, like, WCW or what have you. Maybe you get some better advertisements instead of the cheap, completely crappy stuff you get now with Sonic or or Twisted Iced Tea or all these type of things that are so bargain bin that you're not going to get the good stuff. You're not going to get the same advertisements like MMA gets or soccer gets or basketball, baseball, or football if you keep going on this stupid, crappy stuff. And don't say, oh, it's PG. No, you can make PG work. Heck, WWE has made PG work. You can because you can do that if they really work and care and actually get some consistent characters. Instead, they just go around and just they just don't connect with the audience. They go around and BS. They don't. There's no consequence to any actions. No consequences. It's the same stuff. And by the way, the villain never, the big head guy, evil authority. Let's kibosh this thing. Let's end the authority storyline, and no more evil people in charge, please. And, just make the authority figure neutral and let him be backstage or something. Make a championship committee, and they appear only a couple times and every what have you. Have them do that, and let the main show, the people who want to, watch the show, the people who should be the main talking points of the show, should be the wrestlers. I know, a crazy concept, but that's just my overall rant. Anyway, we'll be taking a little break, and when we come back, I'll be talking about some interesting gaming news that is not Gamergate. So hopefully people won't get upset and try to flag my video. Anyway, that's true. What have yous anyway. By the way. Anyway, this is Duke CT, and this is the Duke CT Lounge. You're gonna be listening to some Super Mario 64. Some let's see, what is a good song to really hype this thing up? Some stuff here. We're gonna be listening to somebody set up somebody set up the somebody set up us the bomber bombs. I hope I said that right. Somebody set up us the bomber bombs. Yeah, I see what they did there. This is from Portrait of a Plumber from OC Remix. It's a free album. You can go on their website and download it. It's great. It's awesome. So hope you guys enjoy it, and you'll be right back here live on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Duke CT. Right back right after this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Duke CT, live from the Duke CT Lounge. Phone number to connect to me, Duke CT, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444, and the call ID to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Oh my goodness. Wow, I have had some news dropped on me. Um, I was just surfing while listening to the song, and ladies and gentlemen, guess who's going to be directing the Neon Genesis Evangelion live action movie? It's your favorite director and mine, Michael Bay. You know, the same guy who did Transformers, the same guy who did Pain and Gain, the same guy who produced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's gonna be working on Neon Genesis Evangelion. It is basically supposedly because uh, supposedly this according to this article, could this supposedly this is by Gunther Barbosa. The Neon Genesis Evangelion live action Hollywood adaptation could finally be in the works right now after Michael Bay is reporting stepping down as director of Transformers 5. In an interview with USA Today, Michael Bay said he believes he'll hand directing duties on Transformers 5 over to someone else so he can work on other projects. Quote, there's kind of a new chapter and new direction in movies I want to make. I have a lot of stories to tell, and it's about flexing new muscles. What could this lots of stories to tell mean? Could his statement mean that along with his planned documentary work, is he going to direct the Neon Genesis Eon General live action Hollywood adaptation? Oh, and this is according to report. Oh yeah, this is crazy. According to reports of the flickering myth, Michael Bay was asked by journalists if he wants to direct any other franchise after his stint with Transformers and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Michael Bay then responded by saying, I don't know if you're familiar with Evangelion, but that's one movie that I want to direct. And when asked if Michael Bay is working on the Neon Genesis Evangelion live action movie right now, he just smiled at the journalist asked him that question. Oh boy. Please, this is interesting. Um, oh wow. This, my friends. Oh goodness. And I know there's a lot of people who like this show. Personally, I never got into it. I'm more of a Gundam guy than an Evangelion guy. I know some people who are in your podcast who are like, in fact, I'm gonna go and see if I can get the three black geeks. See, I want to see what their opinion about this because I'm gonna tweak them this um because this right here is amazing. Um, I'm gonna try because this is just I this was really it's just too precious. You know, you know, it's just wow. This stuff right here is amazing because I just I know people take this so seriously. I know some friends, a few friends who actually like the series, who are probably going if they hear this news that Michael Bay might be directing this movie. I could just see them going completely insane and just going nuts hearing this because Michael Bay, I just don't see him. I just don't see it because with Evangelion, you have to have someone who's really you need a guy like Del Toro. You need a guy like say Peter Jackson. You need a guy who knows what's going on. You need to know somebody to know his stuff. Michael Bay, what he knows is over the top patriotism and blowing shit up. And he can blow shit up real good. But even Jalen I don't think he can do this. I don't know. It's gonna be a really I don't know. And I hope for the best. I mean, for the most part, it's I don't know. It doesn't look good, but I'm hopeful it's wrong. Hope this is actually just like no, it's not gonna happen. If it does happen, we're preparing for the worst. Yeah, I'm hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. Anyway, um, that nightmare and all that good stuff. Let's talk about um, video games. Let's talk a little about video games. And I was up to a video last night by a YouTuber called The Rage of Fist, a man who's with Vince Russo, doing his stuff on Vince Russo's Pyro and Ballahu on his YouTube channel and all that good stuff. Recently got an interview with Vince Russo. Not bad stuff. Very interesting stuff. I'll put the link in the description with that, especially the link to his video as well. And and let me tell you something. This video I'm talking about is the gaming drought of again this gaming drought of what's going on right here. The 2 years from the PS4 and the Xbox One, the only one, ladies and gentlemen, with any games, is Sunset Overdrive for the Xbone, and that's it. Other than that, what's coming out for the Xbox Xbone this year? A lot of multi-platform games. Same with the PS4. Some say, "Oh, what about Destiny? Destiny." Um, Destiny is coming multi-platform, including on the PS3 and Xbox 360. It's not going to be on. I mean, and not only that, it won't be. It won't have any negative drawbacks to it. I mean, it's going to be the same game, but just less graphics. There's no real reason to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One for the most part. Sunset Overdrive looks fun, but I wouldn't buy a console for it. And that'll probably be the only Xbox One game I will probably get until probably till holiday 2015, where all the good games are supposed to come out. When this happened, and I honestly, when Rage of Fist put this thing out there, and I'll put the link in the description, the gaming drought, and he makes a good point about Nintendo Wii, which I was the worst one to get. And let me tell you something, Wii back like in 06, 07, 08, you couldn't find these things. I had to go crazy looking for a Nintendo Wii. But there was no game. I mean, and for the most part, there was no games for it. There was little to no games, original games for the Nintendo Wii. Very rarely I played it. And the only thing I played was Super Mario Galaxy, and that was it. There was nothing there. Nothing there. And now, when you look at happened to the Wii, it just faded away from memory. Because people, when the game did come in, it was too late. And people were like, they were happy with it, but no one really cared about the Wii. No one cared about them after those 2 or 3 years without real meaningful games. But I see the same thing. I see the same future for the PS4, the Xbox One, because even though honestly, I think that the decline is going to be a lot deeper because for for let's be real here, and let's all be real here. The PS4 sold 10 million units. That's nice, but compare that to the Nintendo Wii when it came out. They they were like selling like 4.1 million uh, systems a month. It would kept going and going and just like they had 10, 15, 20 million. Like I think 10 million like after like 3, 4, 5 months. After 4 or 5 months, they were like 10, 15 million. And now after the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, they're slowly getting a PS4 has 10 million 10 million boxes sold, but is there any games for it? And again, some would say, "Oh, what?" But then they're multi-platform games. The people are not going to go and spend in this economy. They're not going to spend on games they could easily get for the original systems. I mean, what's the point of buying all these games? What's the point of buying all these games? What's the point of doing that? What's the point of buying and doing all these next gen consoles, these next gen machines, when you can do the same thing but cheaper with 360 and PS4, no PS3. What's the point? I just got recently got PS3, and I'm not gonna trade up or go up to a PS4 because honestly, there's no games for me. On the Xbox One, I'm happy with my 360 and the PS3. I'm happy with that and my Wii. I'm gonna try to upgrade to the Wii U when the Smash Brothers and all those games start to come out. Then I'll go and get the Wii U. I'll be doing that, my friends. But there's nothing for me to get. There's no real incentive for me to get a PS4 right now. There's no incentive for me to get a PS to get for those new next gen consoles. And when you look at all these next gen consoles, when you look at that, when you look and see, when you look at the big major games coming out for these next gen consoles, again, they come out next year, usually around holiday 2015. But Racist said in this video is, this whole thing is a problem. This is going to be a real big problem, and we have to. I mean, this is going to hit the industry hard. People want to talk about Gamergate, and trust me, that's a huge issue, and journaling intensity and such. And no one's talking about this. This is the reason why Gamergate and everything else is talking because most of those game sites, they're basically cheerleaders to say, hey, if the product does well, people go on their website, yeah, they go up there. But there's no there is no substance. There's nothing there. There's no real journalism. Nothing. Very rarely you hear something with good journalism. There's a lot of good opinions, but no real hard hitting facts in journalism. Stuff like from real sports or stuff like say from exposés of stuff like 60 Minutes or something like that. I Walter Cronkite, something like that. We don't get that. And this stuff right here, where there's no there's no games for the PS4 or the Xbox One. The Xbox One has the one, the Sunset Overdrive. But I don't think Sunset Overdrive is going to really sell that many units. Because honestly, that's going to be, we got Sunset Overdrive, but that's it. It's just going to be that. And honestly, as much as I like it looks good, I'm not going to buy a console just for one game. I'm going to be playing like I'll beat Sunset Overdrive, but that's it. I'll be just chilling with my 360 for a while. That's what I'm going to be planning to do. And that's, there's nothing, again, nothing for me, no incentive for me to buy a next gen console. and it's a shame. Anyway, um, that's it for my show, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a very interesting show, and hopefully, I will be back again. Which I will be back again next Friday, and we'll hopefully talk something more positive. I mean, we ended on a positive last week, and hopefully we can end on. I want to end on positive notes. I gotta find some good stories and try to end on some positive notes because this is just depressing. I added more shows on Dukect Lounge, um, and just with negative stuff, which is a shame. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. This has been a great uh, 30 to 40 minutes podcast with me, rapping and all this talking. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the Last Real Standing episode is coming. Hopefully, it'll be done by next week. Just need to do some other reshoots and cameos and all that good stuff. I load it all up in there, mix it up together, and we'll make a great little thing and something like that for Last Real Standing and more episodes and more interesting stuff, content for this channel and other stuff as well. So, thank you so much for listening and staying with me, Duke CT. Anyway, Duke CT here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all next Friday. Same Duke time, same Duke channel, where you can hear me ramble. Thank you once again for letting me ramble. Thank you. Anyway, so still peace and love. I'll see you when I see y'all. Later.